Hello there, it's Emma from Eldenwood Craft here, and I am back after a long break to share what I have been knitting on recently. I'm going to focus this episode on my finished objects because I have a few. In fact, I think it's 7, and I don't want these episodes to be particularly long. So finished objects today, and then I'm hopeful that I'll be able to record again in a couple of weeks and show you what I'm currently working on. A very big thank you if you are a returning viewer for coming back and watching this video. I really appreciate you, and really glad to have you here again. And if you are a new viewer to my channel, a big warm welcome. Thank you for checking me out, and if you do enjoy the video, it would be lovely if you would hit the subscribe button, and then you can get notified of when I record again. And as always, as we always say, please don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment if you would like. Let me know what you're working on, where you're watching, all that sort of thing. It's lovely to chat in the comments. So yes, I've been away for quite a long time. I last recorded at the end of July, and I had fully intended to come back a month later and talk knitting with you again, but unfortunately my mum became unwell, and she lives quite a few hundred miles away from me up in the north of England, and I needed to go up and spend a bit of time with her. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a difficult few months. We're not out of the woods. We won't be out of the woods. It's yeah, not a great prognosis for her, unfortunately, but we are putting measures in place to help the situation. Anyway, I didn't really come on to talk about that, but yeah, that explains why I've not been here. But I've been really looking forward to coming back and showing you what I've been making. So I'm going to share my finished objects with you today. I've grouped them into 3 groups. I've got some socks, I've got some scarves, and I've got some garments to share with you. So let's get started with the socks. And the first sock to share with you is this pair of Rose City rollers. It's patterned by Mara Catherine Brymer. Paid for pattern, I believe, on Ravelry. The yarn I used for this is Fab Funky Fibres. Let me just find my notes in my knitting notebook. Oh, I've got 2 notebooks on the go. I've got my podcast notebook and I've got my knitting notebook. So it's chaos under here. Anyway, Fab Funky Fibres, first time using their yarn, very nice. Here is the rather gorgeous ball band. I don't know how much you'll be able to see. That looks okay. Do I know the colourway? Cosmopolitan. Obviously a self-striping. I used a bit of a mini from loom wool that I had left over from my loom wool mini club this year that I've subscribed to. And the Rose City roller pattern is really straightforward. It's my favourite sort of summer sock. You go straight into the body of the leg without doing a rib, and I mean, it's really just a basic sock after that. I knit about 20 rows, 15 rows before I knit a heel flap, slip stitch heel flap, and with a garter edge and a heel turn. Did I do a French heel turn? No, I've done a French heel turn on one of my socks, I think. And then gusset decreases and into a standard wedge toe. The yarn was a 50 grams skein, and this pair of socks weighs 42 grams, so you can easily get a pair from a 50 gram skein. I'm a UK size 6, and I do a 60 stitch cast on, right in the middle of the regular 56 and 64 stitches, just what I find best. And I usually knit my socks on a 2.25mm needle, and I pretty much always do my socks using bamboo DPNs. I will say that these socks aren't my, I mean, they look absolutely fine, but they weren't my best knit. There's a couple of small little things that niggle me. Things like here, you can see I can't think why I've even got that there. Same on that side, you can just see that's not quite right, and probably the same on the other sock as well. And also my end weaving in is very untidy on that one. They were a bit of a stress knit. I knit these when I was with Mum in hospital back in August, September time, so I think I knit my stress into those socks. But they are lovely self-striping yarn. I would use Fab Funky Fibres again very happily. And yeah, these will now go away probably until next spring, summertime. So that's the Rose City rollers. The next and the last pair of socks that I've got to show you, pop these on the sock blockers, are a pair of DK socks. Not knit a pair of DK weight socks before. These were obviously fingering weight sock yarn. But I've seen DK weight socks everywhere. I suspect most podcasters who knit socks have probably tried a DK weight sock. They do knit up quickly. They are nice and squishy. I, however, do have quite warm feet, so I'm not sure how useful these will be. I might use them as sort of evening, not bed socks, because I don't wear my socks in bed, or very rarely, but they might be nice sort of pyjama socks. Anyway, so here they are. Nice squishy DK weight sock yarn. This is Drops Fiesta. I don't have the colourway, but if you look on Wool Warehouse, which is where I got this from, there is a very obvious greeny ball of Fiesta. They come in 50-gram balls. I don't know how much yardage you get because I don't have the, I don't think I've got the ball band. Let me just check that actually. I do have the ball band. There we go. Drops Fiesta. 50 grams, 110 meters. So to me, that's a classic DK weight. It's 75% wool, 25% polyamide, colour 16, which is this one. Now. Oh, Drops Fiesta print. Whoops. So yeah, you're looking for the print. Version of Drops Fiesta rather than this one, and I don't have the ball band for this. Did I write the number down? Can't find the page now. Come on, Emma. DK weight, right, 16 for the body and 02 for the toes. I don't know what it's called, but this nice plain sort of oatmeal-y colour for the toes. So I use the numbers from the Crazy Sock Lady's DK weight vanilla sock pattern. Crazy Sock Lady, you probably all know her, but she's also known as Kay Litton. So I cast on 48 stitches. Knit top down, I used 3.25mm needles, and the socks weigh 45 grams each. So I was able to get one sock out of a 50-gram ball. When I say they weigh 45 grams each, the actual full weight of the socks is 88 grams. So yeah, 88 grams for two socks. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, nothing really exciting to say about them. I haven't worn them yet. It's been far too warm for that, even though it's November. But they will be put into rotation very soon. I knit these because my husband, I think, would really like some DK weight socks. He does have cold feet, as opposed to my warm feet, and he will very much appreciate these, I think. So DK weight socks, I will make another pair for Dennis, and you'll see that at some point, maybe over the winter. Right, that's the socks. On to little scarves, and I have knit 3 since I last saw you, or actually I finished 1 and I've knit 2. And as I was pulling these out of my podcast knitting basket, I was appalled to see that I have yet to weave the ends in on 2 of the scarves. So I will get round to that as soon as I've finished recording this video. Now, the first one to show you is a pattern by Aimée Gille from La Bien-Aimée. And it's a second Le Bandana that I made. I was making this in my last July video and I have now finished it. Here it is. I'll hold the yarn up close to the camera so you can see. It's a very delicate, very blown out, there we go. Very, very lightly variegated Eldenwood Craft yarn. This is in the colourway Small Blue, and it's a mix of very light greys and blues and sort of fawny colours with the odd dark grey speckle in it. The pattern calls for sport weight yarn, and I knit this using fingering weight yarn. I used 3.5mm needles, and I used 60 grams of yarn, and it's really rather lovely. I have been doing a bit of work on triangular shawls over the last few months, and I think this is probably my favourite of the patterns that I have used. Let me just pop it on for you. You'll excuse the ends. Or maybe I have woven them in. I just haven't cut the end. No, I don't think I have. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that will get dealt with. So it just ties up nicely like that, or maybe in a double knot. Anyway, you get the idea. And it just sits a nice little bit of warmth around your neck. I said in my last episode, I think, I much prefer a smaller scarf like that. I don't wear big shawls. I run on the warm side, and so these keep my neck warm. Yeah, keep my neck warm, and that's about as much as I feel I need most of the time. The scarf is pretty much the ideal size for me. It's 39 inches wide. Maybe I'd go another inch or 2 wider, and it's 13 inches deep. So yeah, Le Bandana by Aimée Gille. What can I tell you about it? It curls an awful lot when you're knitting it, but it flattens out very nicely when you block it, particularly the increase and decrease side. It has this nice little edge detail. Yeah, really happy with that. I have many plans for little triangular scarves. They're really having a moment, aren't they? Pretty much every fashion retailer that I see anyway has a beautiful triangular scarf in their autumn winter 2025-26 collection. So I like to think that us knitters have set the fashion agenda for that. The next little triangular scarf I knit, I also mentioned in my last podcast. It's the Clyde shawl from the Bonnie and Clyde pattern by Isabel Kraemer. The yarn I used for this one, is another Eldenwood Craft yarn. This is Leveret, also a fingering weight. It's a merino nylon fingering weight yarn. I used 3.5mm needles. The pattern calls for striping within the scarf, but I didn't put any striping in this because I didn't like the way the striping looked with this particular yarn. And this final finished object weighs 35 grams, so you can very easily get one of these out of a 50-gram skein of yarn. It's just a little bit too petite for me. Again, ends need weaving in. I mean, it looks rather nice from what I can see on my viewfinder, and maybe it would be a nice spring type size scarf. Let's not rule it out completely, but it just feels a little bit insubstantial to me, but we'll see. I might give the other pattern in. So the pattern is for two little triangular scarves. One like this one, which is knit from side to side, as is the bandana. So you start at one tip, you knit stocking stitch to the middle with increases, and then you decrease out to the other tip. But I think the other pattern in this two pattern, the Bonnie scarf, I think that is knit either top down or bottom up. So I might give that a go, and you could easily extend the size of that one. I mean, I know you can with this as well, but something different. Yeah, I might try that. Anyway, another nice little scarf to add to the collection. And then my final scarf that I have knit, which is not long off the needles, one that I knit while I was up visiting Mum again. This is just one, I say I self-drafted it, I didn't really. If you know how to knit a triangle, and I have knit quite a few triangles now, then it's very straightforward to do. This is just a basic, it's a bit like the bandana without the same increase and decrease stitches. It's knit using Drops Alpaca, and I used Drops Alpaca because I wanted a scarf that had a lovely halo, and if I hold that up you can probably, can you see the halo on it? Yeah. Yeah, I like alpaca, and I fancied an alpaca scarf. I fancied one with a little bit of halo, but I didn't want to use a mohair or suri. I wanted to try and keep it affordable, economical. Anyway, so the shade is 2020, this lovely beigey colour. Fingering weight is about 167 meters, I think, to a 50-gram ball. My intention with this was to see how big a scarf I could get from a 50-gram ball of yarn, and I knit it on 3mm needles. The stitch pattern I used was increases, yarn overs for the increases, and then knitting through the back of the yarn over on the way back on the stocking on the purl side, and then at the decreases it was knit two together. I started with 3 stitches. I slipped the first stitch on each side of the at the beginning of each row, and then I knit to 3 stitches at the other end after my decreases. I think ideally for me it needs to be a little bit longer. Did I say how long it is? I don't think I did. I find like the stats behind a knitting pattern really interesting. I don't know if anyone else does. So it's 92 centimetres long and 28 centimetres deep. So yeah, for me it needs to be a little bit longer, but it's definitely wearable. I need to learn how to tie these a bit better. Must be a knack, because when I see them in the on websites and things, this knot always looks really neat and I can't do that. So if anyone's got any hints or tips on how to get a neat knot on your scarf, let me know. But yeah, I think that's quite nice. I've got some more of this drops alpaca in my stash. I've got a lovely dark green one which I think would probably work really nicely, and I think I've got 100 grams of that, so I might knit that, cast that on quite soon. So there we go, that's scarf number 3. And yeah, let me take you now onto, I'm going to take this off because I'm warm, take you onto the 2 garments that I have finished knitting. And the first garment I'm going to show you is one that I was finishing, or I was knitting in my July episode, and that's the Space Tank by Heidi Kirrmaier. I'll put a picture of the pattern image up here just so you can see what it's meant to look like. It's a summer top. It's knit from Drops Cotton Merino in the colourway Sea Green, which is number 29. It's a DK weight cotton merino mix. I knit it on 3.5mm needles. I knit size large and I used 6 and a bit balls. It weighs 312 grams. And here it is. Just stand back so you can see it. It has been folded away in my wardrobe, so it has got some creases in it because it's no longer summer. But I will pop some footage on screen of me wearing it just so you can see how it sits. I do really like it. It was a fun knit. It's an interesting knit. You start with a provisional cast on around the neck, and then you knit a circular, or you start to knit a circular yoke, working in the round, increasing. You can see it has some can you see it? I can see it on that side a bit. Well, it's got increases, sort of radial increases around the front and the back of the yoke. Then you divide and you knit flat for the front, flat for the back, and then join in the round at the underarms, and then knit, 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 knit. You knit a rib in the same size needles, and you finish the armholes and the neck with an I-cord. I think that gives a really lovely, smart finish. It's an extremely detailed pattern, very, very well written. Could a beginner knit this? I think so. If you've not knit a garment before, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to do this. If you're confident with your knits and your purls and following an instruction, then I think the level of detail within the pattern is such that a beginner garment knitter could happily make one of these. As I said, it took 6 and a bit balls. It weighs 312 grams. It fits really nicely. I was attracted to this particular pattern because of the wide shoulder bits. What do you call those? Shoulder straps? They're not really straps, are they? But anyway, you get a nice bit of coverage around here. And yeah, it feels really comfortable on. I wore this on holiday in Morocco, which was amazing, really interesting and lovely holiday. And yeah, I wore this. It wasn't too hot. I didn't feel too hot in it, even though it's DK. Yeah, I was just really pleased with it. And I could very much see me making another one of these. The only negative, I would say, was that the yarn was quite splitty. And if I were to make this again, I would probably choose a different yarn this time. Yeah. But yeah, overall, really happy with that. My coat hanger I stole this from a hotel in Malaysia when I went on my first holiday in 1999 with my now husband. We took a souvenir coat hanger home with us, and I've still got it. That was, well, we got married in 2000. It's our 25th wedding anniversary next month, and so 26 years I've had this coat hanger. There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that there. And that takes me on to my final knitted garment, which is reasonably hot off the needles, and it is the all-season vest, and it is what I am wearing. I cast this on in September, I think, and finished it this week. It's a brilliant pattern by Noriko Ichikawa. It's knit in Drops Lima, which is a DK weight yarn, in the colourway Petrol Mix, which is colour 0701 on the Wool Warehouse website. I used the needles as per pattern. I couldn't tell you what they were now. And for me, the real highlight is this beautiful shallow ribbed neckline. That's what I'm trying to say. But just moving a little bit close. I didn't do a great job down here, but we'll ignore that. But I like the depth of this. It's not quite a full, you know, like the full V-neck, but it's not a round neck. So I really like it. Construction. You start with the back and the shoulders, shaping those with short rows. You knit the back flat, and then you pick up at the shoulders and knit the front flat, and then you join at the underarms, knit, and then you do some rib at the bottom. It's 1 by 1 rib at the bottom. Should I stand back so you can see it properly? Oh, I just love it, and I love this colour. Get rid of that bit of fluff. The colour's just, excuse my hair. I love that colour. That is my favourite colour, I think. That and brown. Anyway, yeah, so you knit the rib, and you pick up stitches for the shoulder and the neckline and rib those as well. I historically always have a problem picking up neckline and armhole stitches, because I can never, or rarely can I manage to pick up the number of stitches that the pattern suggests. However, with this one, it was beautifully detailed, telling you how many to pick up on each side and so on, and I managed it successfully. And I think that is testament to how well the pattern was written. I was really impressed. I knit a size 5. The pattern has 10 sizes. It goes up to a 66-inch bust and calls for 8 inches of positive ease, I think. I got gauge, but my finished vest is smaller than the size it should be, and I suspect that is because when I blocked it, and I didn't block it aggressively, but I felt that I probably needed a little bit of extra length in the body, so I pulled it down when I was blocking it, and when you do that you lose a bit of width, don't you? So I would definitely knit another one of these. I would definitely use this yarn again. It's really lovely. Be nice. I'd like this in an oatmeal colour. I'd like it in a dark chocolatey brown colour. I'd like it in a green. I'd like it in a sort of pearly grey. Oh, I could have a whole wardrobe of them. What was I saying? I would knit it again, yes, but I would add on another couple of inches to the body, maybe. I don't know. I might get used to having something there. I normally think I would prefer something down here, a bit lower hip height, but I don't know. I think it looks okay. Maybe I don't need that extra length. I've also written here, note her new release. She has a fairly recently published new vest pattern, which is called the Garter Edge vest, and I'm really keen to try this. It's a similar looking vest, but the beauty of this one, and you'll see why I like the idea of it, is that you knit the arm ribbing and the neck, or you knit the arm ribbing and the neck ribbing at the same time as knitting the body of the vest. So once you've finished your hem at the bottom, that's it. There's no more knitting. No picking up of stitches. I'll pop a picture of it on the screen so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm very keen to try that. Okay, that is all the knitting for today. I've got a number of items on the go. I've got some scarves on the go, and I've got a sweater on the go, but I'll come back later in the month to show you those. What I will do now is a very, very quick chat about the shop. Because of the aforementioned family issues that we've been having, my shop has sadly had to take a bit of a back seat, quite rightly, and I have not released any new items in the shop since the beginning of the summer, which I find quite anxiety inducing, but it's the way it has to be. Oh, sorry, I just realised I moved the camera. Apologies. However, I have in the last few weeks been able to get to work again on the shop. I've been keeping up with the made to order project bags. If you're new here and don't know, I run Eldenwood Craft, and I make and sell project bags, and I do a little bit of hand dyeing of yarn as well, but project bags are the big thing in the shop. But yeah, so the last few weeks I've managed to find the space to start creating new bags again, and I've been working on a winter fabric, a winter fabric that will hopefully go into the shop next week. It all depends when I can get decent light to take some photos. I will show you the bag because I am dead chuffed about it. It's a fabric that I have created using digital images that I've purchased. So it's not fabric that you can buy commercially. I have been asked about that a number of times since I shared it online recently. But yeah, so I've made a stack of these bags which will go in the shop probably next week, but it might be the week after. If you want to be the first to know about when the bags do go in the shop, please do sign up to my newsletter, which you can do through a link in the description box underneath the video, which will also have details of all the projects and yarns and so on that I've been talking about today. But yeah, newsletter subscribers always get first shout on bags when they go into the shop, or anything when it goes into the shop. And let me show you the bag here. Oh, it looks lovely. I'm so happy with it. So it's a lovely snowy scene, same on the back side. Basically, I've taken a digital image, I've done a little bit of clever stuff to it and created some panels which then get printed onto fabric at a fabric printers, and that gets sent back to me, and then I do the sewing. So they're all in my medium-sized bag, which has a nice deep bottom. All my medium and large bags have got pockets on both sides of the lining. It's all fully interfaced, both lining and external fabric, and I always use, at the moment I always use sort of heavier weight fabrics. This is a drill fabric. I am going to be using some nice linens very soon for something a little bit different. But yeah, that will probably be next year now. Anyway, so that's what's going in the shop soon. Things are a little bit slow there at the moment, but I'm hoping once things settle down on the family front, I will be able to focus a bit more on the shop, because I am missing doing that work and missing having some income as well. Anyway, right, final thing I want to talk about is some of the books that I finished. I've picked three books from the books that I finished over the last few months to share with you, my 3 favourite books of that time, and I have thought about those books and come up with a little 1-sentence summary, because I don't want to spend too long talking about them. But I know a lot of you like my book recommendations, so here are my 3 favourite books that I have finished since the end of July. And I'm going to start with the most recent, which I'll put a picture up here. I don't know how you say it, Alveston by James Holland. This is a saga, family saga. That makes no sense what I've written down. It's the story of a large family and villagers in a Wiltshire village called Alveston, as they deal with the outbreak of World War II. It's a big old book. It was about 600 pages, I think, and I really enjoyed it. It was very straightforward, easy, a little bit predictable maybe, but the author wrote really well about wartime. He has some knowledge of battle and war aeroplanes, I think. So that element of the story was really well written. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I gave it 4 stars when I read it. Yeah. The second of my 3 books is The Unbroken Beauty of Rosalind Bone by Alex McCarthy. I watch a number of booktubers, and one of my absolute favourites is Kerry from, I'm going to find her channel. In fact, I'll put it on the screen, then I don't have to mess about with my phone. So I was watching Kerry's podcast a while ago, and this was one of her favourite books of last year, I think. And she often has really, really good recommendations. I have a funny feeling that my 3rd book is a recommendation from her as well. But anyway, she was really, really excited about this book. And I've written Secrets and Shame in a Welsh Village Where Beauty Hides Buried Truths. It's set in the late 1970s. It's a dual timeline story, late 1970s and early 2000s, I want to say, that sort of period. And it follows a Welsh village through some traumatic events, shall we say. Great writing. I read that on holiday in a couple of days. Really, really good read. And then my 3rd and favourite book of the last few months, also read on holiday. Both those 2 books are both quite short. Anyway, so I told you I was out of practice. So my favourite book of the last few months is Clear by Caris Davis. And this is a book about the Highland clearances from the mid-1800s, I want to say. And it's about, what did I write? Isolation, survival and unexpected friendship on a remote Scottish island. The writing was sparse and beautiful and breathtaking, and nature writing was exquisite, and the story was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I wholeheartedly recommend clear by Carys Davis to you, if that sounds like your cup of tea. And there we have everything that I have finished knitting and my 3 favourite books from the last 3 months. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I was really excited to be back in front of the camera talking to you. I do like to chat to someone about my knits. My family are not particularly interested at all. They tolerate my witterings, but they're not interested like you lot are. So I'm very grateful to you for being here and for chatting away in the comments and for coming back every time I record. I really hope to be back in a couple of weeks, and then back again at the beginning of December to maybe get into more of a routine with recording. As I said at the beginning, I really hope you're well. I hope everything is treating you well, and that you've got some lovely projects on the go. I will see you again very soon. Do take care. Lots of love. Bye.